Robbie, I'm going to start with probably the question that nobody's asked this morning. Do you prefer oat or cow milk in your coffee?
Oat. Nice to meet you, Ash. You give the game away on X. When I got spotted in Stroud, the Stroud Times, so I've been following you on X. Listen, well done, good scoop. I think it was a taxi driver who, your mate, was it?
It was, yeah, thanks to him.
Yeah, there you go. So listen, it's a pleasure to be here. So excited, wonderful area, wonderful football club, good people. So again, I'm really ready for the challenge.
You've got a real strong connection with Forest Green even before today was announced, haven't you? Could you just sort of tell us a little bit about that with your son, Charlie?
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons, my relationship with Dale started because, he believed in Charlie, brought him here under Big Dunk. I got on so well with Big Dunk. The way they embraced me and my family and looked after Charlie, Claire and all the staff. So when the interest came about, I was obviously wanting to speak to Dale. Asif has been amazing. And another big reason is Mark Boyne. Mark Boyne, took me to Birmingham, Blackburn, sporting director. And what he achieved at Reading, under difficult circumstances, creating a young dynamic squad. The ambition of this football club is to get back into the EFL. It was the first village team to be in the EFL, which is quite remarkable. So I'm excited.
Just a word on Macclesfield as well. Everything you achieved there, I'm sure you're leaving with a bit of a heavy heart as well on that one because they're a club really close to your heart.
Yeah, a lot of Macclesfield fans won't see that as we speak, I think, looking at social media. But again, you're not going to please everybody. I understand there's going to be negativity and disappointment and anger. I get that. But it's a wonderful football club with a wonderful person, Rob Smethurst, and we had that journey together. I've left wonderful staff, wonderful people, wonderful players. And if it wasn't for that group, I wouldn't be standing here with the opportunity because they're the reason why I'm standing here, because of the way they bought into my style. They embraced me, they empowered me, and I empowered them. So again, wonderful football club, but that chapter's over. It was a successful chapter in my career. Now I want to be successful here.
You've had a stellar playing career. You weren't bad.
Really?
You weren't bad on Strictly Come Dancing as well. But how do you feel you're going to dip your toes into the National League?
Well, people say my Macclesfield team are at step 3, Forest Green, step 1. There's no difference. You're a non-league player or you're a league player. I honestly believe that some of my Macclesfield players will easily, have success here. And the biggest thing I want to do, Ash, is I want to create a vibrant, entertaining, fun place where players want to come in, work, fans want to come on a Saturday, and I want to create a young, dynamic squad. I want to, integrate the youth team players. I'm speaking to Jan this afternoon. I want to create a pathway for them and a pathway for young coaches at Forest Green, something to aspire to do.
You inherited a really good squad here. Forest Green nearly got over the line last season. What do you think it takes to make that difference and get into the League Two?
Again, they finished third, 3 minutes from Wembley, losing on penalties. So, we've got a good group. A lot of players have left. And when I've gone through the squad and met the players this morning, we need numbers in the building, which Mark and Asif and Dale will help me. It's going to be a collaboration. So I think the days are gone where you're just a manager. You need to embrace the culture. You need to get good people around you, which I have in those 3 people. But we need players with dynamism, hunger, desire and people who care, and I think we create that at Macclesfield, and we're going to have a right goal. So I think there'll be 3 new faces coming in, I think today or tomorrow, which I'm really excited about, and I think we probably need another 6 or 7, but again, when the Forest Green fans come here to the new lawn or to away games, I want them to be proud, and I've seen a team who represents them and me, and they're going to see. I want to make the pitch wider. I want to have the final third goals, 109 at Mac, and have an enthusiasm and a hungriness about us. And listen, we all know it's a results business. I'm sure you stood here many times, Ash, with different managers, and I'm under no illusion. It's a 4-year contract, but we all know that, will I see that out? Hopefully, but I know it's a results business, and it's something that I love pressure, and I'm going to give everything I've got.
There's only one automatic promotion spot in the National League. Would you be a manager that backs the 3 up? I suppose that's an obvious question. It does need to happen at this level, doesn't it?
Well, you know the circumstance before the season starts. Listen, we lost in the playoffs at Macclesfield when we finished second and we had the home semi-final, the home final. Marine deservedly beat us on the day. You understand it before the season starts. I think as long as, of course, 3 up would be beneficial, but you understand the parameters before ball's kicked. So I didn't, complain about not winning the playoff, and it was what it was. The best team will win it on the day. Of course, you'd like 3 up, but this season's 1 up. If we finish second and don't go up, listen, that's that before the start of the season. You'll get no excuses from me. No excuses. I'm not going to say, well, there should be 3 up because we failed. The start of the season. That's it, and you got to go with it.
Finally, last one from me. National League fixtures out next week.
9th of July.
Yeah. You fancy Carlisle at home and your old gaffer, Mark Hughes?
Don't care who we get. I believe my team, when we create it, can beat anybody. Simple as that, and that's the belief my players had at Macclesfield. Going into every game, no matter who it is, we can beat anybody. Listen, I've not lost consecutive games as a manager, and there's going to be testing times, and that's why I've got an experienced group around me, because I'll need them. I'll need them. And I'm young, hungry, 1 year in management, but 25 years in good changing. I've spoke to Brendan Rodgers, Martin O'Neill, Sean Dyche. I spoke to good people who have all said to me what an opportunity, and pick up the phone to them if I need any advice, because there will be tough times. I get that, but I can't wait. You can say I'm excited. You are, Ash, as well. Your Twitter follows will go up.
I've been busy.
But again, I want to embrace the culture. I want to embrace the local press. We know how important it is. I understand it. I understand football. So listen, we'll go on a journey. We'll have an entertaining brand of football. We'll win and lose games. But one thing I want to do is make the Forest Greens proud of a young, hungry, dynamic squad.
I have actually got one more question that's
just
dropped into my brain.
Good.
Your media commitments have been quite busy. How will you juggle that with Forest Green Rovers?
Again, Dale's happy to embrace that. 606, which I love. I'm going to be giving up on a Saturday. A Sunday, obviously, I think it's important that all I do on a Sunday is I'll probably watch our game back, watch Premier League football, and I can do 606 with Chris. So, that's my day, watching football anyway. So, Dale's, and Azif have said that will be good. And TNT, I go and watch football anyway. And when I go and do TNT, at times when you do the Conference League, you can spot players. So again, I'm allowed to do that as well. Obviously, Forest Green comes first. And if that gets in the way, Forest Green comes first. So we know that.
I've got another one as well.
No problem, Ash.
You're
kicking off. Season starts in 10 minutes.
Gloucestershire, beautiful place to live. What are your plans location-wise?
I'm gonna look for a place down here. My son Charlie's in Reading, so about an hour and 20 minutes away, so I'm close to him. My wife and my other son Freddie, he's in university in Manchester, so I'll be looking to. I'm all in. So yeah, I'll be looking for a place.
Yeah, Nailsworth, Cheltenham, not bad places. I shouldn't really say Cheltenham with Forest Green fans listening in, but
yeah. Claire's going to help me. Dale, Asif, Mark, they're all going to help me find somewhere. And again, good people, good environment, and I want my players to come in and let's have a go.
Thanks, Robbie. All the best.
Pleasure.